Hello, hello. Welcome back, my zodiac lovers, new and old. I appreciate you today. So we're here with another zodiac series, and well, it's not really a series. It's just this one video, but I wanted to come to you all with this particular topic. You know, the zodiac obsessions, and the reason for that is because our characteristics, our persona are made up of certain traits, and it's just who we are, right? But what happens when those particular traits, maybe one or two, kind of becomes a little bit obsessive behavior? And that's what we're talking about today. Kind of like with Aries being the number one sign in the zodiac, right? So, having the tendency to always want to succeed and excel in everything that Aries does can be a bit of an issue when your failure becomes so obsessive to the point to where you see that as another opportunity to succeed, by any means necessary, regardless of how risky it is. If that doesn't fail, you go on from one venture to a new ideal, and so on until you actually achieve that success. And it could be so it could be so serious for you that you actually find yourself in competition with yourself. So being a little too obsessive with success will probably be one of your more character flaws or obsessive behaviors. Taurus. Now, Taurus, we all know that you like things, right? You have a strong desire. But what happens when that desire turns into, a lust obsession with materialism, or always wanting more? It could be more sex, more food, more involvement with other people, just more of everything. So much so that there isn't a cap. It doesn't end. It's infinite. And it could be with collecting shoes, whatever it is. There's usually one or two things in particular that you somewhat obsess over, and you really don't have a significant reason for doing so. So that sort of behavior can teeter along obsessions, okay? Gemini. So Gemini, you go your entire life, even as a little child, seeking your fraternal twin, if you don't have one, like literally. But you're in search of a person who is just like you or someone like you, so much so that they understand everything about you. There isn't an explanation. It could be a neighbor, a coworker, some guy or girl you just met in a bar, whomever it is. You're just looking for that particular individual to walk on this earth with. And until you find that, you are like one unhappy soul. Like, no one understands me. No one knows who I am. And because of that, which is why you can be very extroverted or very introverted. It's because, hey, I'll never find my twin. I give up. Or I'm going to search until the day I die. It becomes a daily obsession for you. Quiet as it's kept. Cancer. So Cancer, you may spend most of your life, starting probably around those adolescent years, to where you're always seeking some sort of emotional fulfillment or fulfillment in general. It's like an unquenchable thirst on a daily basis for someone or something to give you that total fulfillment. And because of that, you may find yourself becoming depressed or having anxiety, or just being completely passive aggressive and a jerk to everyone, even if you are involved. But yeah, you become so consumed with trying to get someone or something to work the way you need it to where it sends you into a darker place. Okay, so you basically spend most of your life in search of emotional fulfillment. Yeah. Leo. So Leo, hello there. So this is a sign who we know who likes attention. Some of them do, some of them don't. It just depends on how shy or not they are. But for Leo, you always want someone or people to see you for how you see yourself. And because of that, you find yourself seeking or desiring a certain amount of recognition from someone. It could be about anything. Recognition, praise. You want to be recognized. If you just purchase an expensive wardrobe and you're wearing it, you want that person who's approaching you to notice it right away. Or if it's, achievement on your job or something, you want that praise. And it's like, I have to have it, but it's who you are. It's how you thrive. It's how you become that confident, Leo that you are. You need that recognition. And when you do, whenever someone gives a Leo a compliment, your eyes tend to light up like, oh wow, you noticed. And it's like that's what I needed. But that's what you need in order to thrive confidently in this life. Yeah. Lots of recognition and praise. You can stress about it a lot. Yeah. Virgo. So, Virgos. Control. You need to have control in your life. It has to be the number one thing that you have. Why? Because this is a sign that tend to worry about whatever sets them off and gives them anxiety. So in order to alter that, if you have control over whatever the situation is or persons, of course there's always people involved, but as long as you have control and you can kind of manipulate it to work into your favor so you don't have to stress or worry or overthink as you typically do, as you're known for doing, then why not just control it? And it usually starts off as something subtle, like, hey, I thought you were wearing your hair differently. Why don't you wear your hair the other way? I like it the other way. Because, I don't want to spend my whole night wondering why your hair looks the way it does and if anyone else like it. No, change your hair back. That's what they're thinking. Can you please change your hair back? Or, yeah, that's better. And that is where it begins. Having control. Libra. So Libras, we all know that this is a more, fickle type sign. And so because of that, because of your fickleness and your indecisive behavior, I think with Libras, you become so accustomed to not deciding or taking forever to make a decision. It can become a manipulative tactic in your favor, like for you. Because if you have to make a decision for someone else or with someone else and you take your time, more so than likely they may give in to what it is that you need, or the situation can alter itself to work in your favor. And so it can become a little manipulative, and you can kind of use that to your advantage in certain cases, especially in relationships. But you have to be very careful with that, because having this in and out energy, or I'm sure today but I'm not tomorrow, it can come off as a little abusive, especially over time, to where it can make the sanest person the most nuttiest in a very short period of time. So you want to be very careful about being so indecisive, and especially if you're aware of it. Now, it's one thing to just not really know that you're taking forever to make a decision, but then there's another thing to where you do know and you use that to your advantage. So try not to obsess of that, because that obsessive behavior can become something far more deep. Yeah? Yes. Scorpio. Okay. So for Scorpio, here's the thing with this sign. This is a very interesting sign to me, by the way. So you have to have knowledge of most things in life and with people. And when you don't understand something in particular, you tend to obsess over it. Typically the women, you tend to obsess over it. Like, you may not understand why your coworker, this one particular coworker, isn't intimidated by you, whereas everyone else is. And so you may put energy into that. or why your neighbor doesn't speak to you. They like half-ass speak to you, right? And you don't understand why. So you want to dig more deep into the matter and find out what, what is what, or why your favorite restaurant, though you enjoy their food, you don't understand their layout, and you may obsess over when you come. So you pretty much find yourself obsessing over things that are a bit insignificant, just things that you don't quite understand. You like really delve into it. You don't let up until you do, till you find out why. But I mean, it could be beneficial for a certain, situation, yeah. But for the most part, you find yourself obsessing over just insignificant things in life. Yeah. Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, we all know this type of sign, right? So here's the thing with Sagittarius, you are known for being that face of the friends. You're out there. You're kind of out there, even when you're not, right? But the one thing about this sign is you like being the greatest. I want to be the bestest friend, your bestest friend, or I want to. I'm the best comedian. Or you want to hear, oh, Sagittarius, you have the dopest parties, or you have the best wardrobe, or you are the most passionate and, greatest lover. You're also one of the greatest stalkers. These are the things that you need to hear in order to thrive. Like just being the best at something. You're great this, you're great that, you're the best, and so on and so forth. Yes. Capricorn. Kind of like Virgo, but not quite. So you're cool with having control, but no, power. Having that power. And with that entails, money, status, rank, success, a nice home, car, you want it all. Like if money is the root of all evil, you want the whole damn tree, you want that so much so that you will step on your Aries co-worker's head to get to the top, and then stand down and look below, watching them struggle to come up to where you are. But you need that power. You have to feel powerful. That's just who you are. But there comes a time where you may obsess over that, and you may become a little dark in your behavior. Now, this is probably for the more dark Capricorn, But nevertheless, you're very competitive, silently, secretly. And you find your way to the top because you seek nothing else but power in every aspect of your life. Yes. Aquarius. Hello there. How are you? So Aquarius, are you with me today? Because this is the one sign who can be all over the place. They can be in the same room with you and someplace else altogether. You become so self-absorbed. You're so obsessed with yourself, with your thoughts, with what it is that you have going on, your ventures. You have this going on, even the ones that you haven't started or just made up in your head. You're someplace else all the time. Okay, and you may become obsessed with that behavior because that's your safe place. That's how you function in life, because it's a very different sign, eccentric even. That's how you know how to function. So to leave your reality to come back down to earth can be quite challenging for you. So you try to stay wherever you are in your head, mentally, physically, emotionally detached, until you suddenly realize, hey, I haven't touched my person or kissed him in like 3 days. Yeah. Finding ways to just be into yourself can be very obsessive behavior for you. And you eventually find out. You'll find out. Okay. Pisces, last but not least. So here's the thing with Pisces, right? Pisces, you spend your entire life trying to control your emotions by not having any. on a daily basis. If you can just eliminate feels and all that they embody, having the anxiety and your thoughts and just feeling all sorts of different things on a daily basis, if you can just get rid of those, even if it's by talking to yourself or talking to other people, drinking, but drinking only makes you feel more. Smoking makes you think about it. So what else is there to do? You obsess over not trying to feel. And it made me think about Snow Allegra. Oh, Those Feels Again album. Yeah. If you could just get rid of your feelings, if that becomes your obsession, like on a daily basis, unless you are like the most grounded Pisces, you have other elements in your chart to kind of balance you out. If not, you obsess over trying to not feel. Okay? And that's not healthy. So here's a little hug, a little virtual hug. Hope that makes you feel better. Okay? Just control it. But that's what I wanted to share, guys, with you all, just so you know some things that if it may not resonate with all. If it did hit you, okay, well then, hey, act accordingly. You know what to do now, or not. Yeah? So I hope this was somewhat fun for you or informative. I thank you all so much for joining me today. That is all for now. Until next time.